Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. It's been a hot minute since I've done a long video, but it is almost the middle of August, which means fall is just around the corner. That is a very loud truck. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for cozy blankets. I'm ready for hot coffee. I'm ready for Gilmore Girls. I'm ready to cozy up with some books. I'm ready for pumpkin patches and all that good stuff that fall has. My fall TBR is very ambitious. In this video, we're going to talk about all the different books that I want to read. I don't know if I'll get around to reading them all. Like I said, it's very ambitious, but fingers crossed. There are several fantasy books I want to read. There's some romance, there's some dark academia, there's some mystery and thrillers, and there's some young adult books that I want to read that just give off those cozy vibes or those cozy thriller vibes. I don't know about you guys, but I really love to read fantasy books in the fall. I don't know what it is. It's just, they just have that vibe. Let's jump right into it. First, I want to talk about all the fantasy books that I want to read this fall, starting with the Throne of Glass series. And if you haven't already heard about Throne of Glass, which I'm fairly certain you probably have if you've been on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, Throne of Glass is written by Sarah J. Maas, the author of the ACOTAR series. And I am very envious of people who are reading that series for the first time. I would love to go back and read it for the first time. I read it 2 falls ago and I just want to read it again. You're so good. Anywho, so Throne of Glass. I have only read The Assassin's Blade. Why I ended up with 2 of these copies. There are different recommendations on the order of reading Throne of Glass. Let me know your guys' favorite recommendation or your favorite order to read this. But I've already read The Assassin's Blade. I've actually read it twice because I had every intention to go through the Throne of Glass series and I never did. I'm hoping this fall I will go through the rest of these. This is heavy. Okay, Assassin's Blade, which I've read already, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Power of Dawn, Kingdom of Ash. I have to go through these this fall. So yeah, let me know what your all's favorite reading order is, because there's like 2 or 3 different ones. I just want what makes the most sense. The next fantasy series that I want to get through is Six of Crows, and I've had this on my TBR for quite some time, and I'm actually kind of embarrassed that I haven't read it yet because I've heard just so many good things about it. So it's about this like criminal prodigy named Kaz who like has this chance to become richer than he could possibly even imagine, but he can't do it alone. So he gets together with like these 6 outcasts. I think one's a convict, one's a sharpshooter, one's a spy, and so forth and so on, to help him meet this goal and become wealthy. At least I think that's what the gist is. Let me know what you guys think about it. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good, but I'd really like to know what you think. And then we have The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee, and I've heard this is very similar to Powerless, so let me know what you guys think. Is this pretty similar to Powerless? It says, fleeing my father's cruelty, the wicked king who robbed me of a future, I faced death in the streets, caught between a rebellion and a tyrant's reign. Captured by those sworn to kill me, the rebels remain blind to my true identity, the missing daughter of the despised king. Faced with an impossible choice, I stand before them, join the rebels or face their blades. Yet Dacre, the son of the ruthless rebellion commander, becomes torn between suspicion and a desire that mirrors my own. He allows no one to touch me, tries to protect me, yet threatens me at every turn. Who does that sound like? Kai. As secrets are weaved beyond our hidden realm, a fierce battle unfolds within me. As I get closer to the rebels and their cause, my loyalty to my kingdom clashes with my undeniable devotion to Dacre and the burning connection between us. In a world where love and hate are 2 edges of the same blade, I like that. I find myself caught in a delicate dance between forbidden desire and my looming destiny. And look how pretty the cover is. Love it. Okay, I'm kind of embarrassed about this one because I haven't read it yet, but The last but not least in the fantasy genre that I want to read in fall is Iron Flame. Now, I've read Fourth Wing last year, loved it. I just haven't read this yet. I don't know why, I just keep putting it off. There are 2 romance novels I want to read in the fall, and the first one is Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver, which is part of the Rose Hill series, and I've read Wild Love. I loved it. And I just pulled up the summary for Wild Eyes because it doesn't come out until September the 3rd, which is not that far away. But it says, a rugged mountain town seemed like the perfect escape from a life in shambles. But on day 1, I ran full tilt into the world's hottest single dad, and now all my plans are ruined. As a chart-topping country singer with a recent streak of bad press, it's hard to find any peace. But I find it in Rose Hill, with a little boy and a little girl who steal my heart just as thoroughly as their dad. Weston Belmont. The man is a shameless flirt. He oozes confidence and masculinity in a way that's downright distracting. And in bed, he's addictive. Everything with him is wild and impulsive, and I'm desperate to regain some control. But no one has supported me like Wes does, and no one has ever made me feel as loved as he does either. So while my brain says settling down with a small town horse trainer is impossible, my heart says I'm right where I belong. So still, my life as a celebrity haunts me. It has the power to pull us apart. I can see in his eyes that he wants me to stay, and I want that too. That's the first one I want to read. And then there's another one called The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And it looks so cute. I've seen this when I was researching fall books, and I'm just going to read the little excerpt about it too, because I don't have it. It's apparently part of a series. It's part of the Dream Harbor series, and it's the first book. It says, when Jeannie's aunt gives her the beloved Pumpkin Spice Cafe in the small town of Dream Harbor, Jeannie jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her very dull desk job. Logan is a local farmer who avoids Dream Harbor's gossip at all costs, but Jeannie's arrival disrupts Logan's routine, and he wants nothing to do with the irritatingly upbeat new girl, except that he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her. Will Jeannie's happy-go-lucky attitude win over the grumpy but gorgeous Logan, or has the city girl found the one person in town who won't fall for her charm or her pumpkin spice lattes? That sounds so cute. It says on Goodreads that the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is a cozy romantic mystery for fans of Gilmore Girls. I was kind of getting Gilmore Girl vibes. With a grumpy sunshine dynamic, a small town setting, and a HEA guaranteed. So that's what it says. It came out last year in August. But it looks so cute. I want to read it. I can't wait. So those are the 2 romance books that I want to read for sure this fall. Now, let's move on to the mysteries and thrillers that I want to read. And if you guys know me and know some of my favorite mystery authors or thriller authors, Frida McFadden. Hands down, probably my favorite mystery thriller author, and probably a lot of other people's. It all started with The Housemaid, and ever since then I was hooked, just like everyone else. And I've read The Housemaid. I just haven't read The Housemaid's Secret and The Housemaid is Watching. So this is the second one in the series. So I guess we're going to find out. I'm trying to remember everything that happened in the first one. So we're going to try to find out about the housekeeper. I guess she's going to employ someone. I don't know. But anyway, I think it's kind of a similar story. It says, it's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past. So, I thank my lucky stars that the Garricks miraculously gave me a job cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city and preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here for a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect, but I still haven't met Mrs. Garrick or seen inside the guest bedroom. I'm sure I hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around the neck of her white nightgowns when I'm doing laundry. And one day I can't help but knock on the door. When it gently swings open, what I see inside changes everything. That's when I make a promise. After all, I've done this before. I can protect Mrs. Garrick while keeping my own secrets locked up safe. Douglas Garrick has done wrong. He's going to pay. It's simply a question of how far I'm willing to go. So, kind of sounds similar. So it sounds like she's employed by another family, and the guy is similar to the one in The Housemaid, but now she knows how to deal with this and help the wife. The Housemaid's Secret. And then The Housemaid is Watching. I don't have that one. I need to pick it up. Goodreads says, "You must be our new neighbor." Mrs. Lowe gushes and waves across the picket fence. I clutch my daughter's hand and smile back, but the second Mrs. Lowe sees my husband, a strange expression crosses her face. In that moment, I make a promise. We finally have a family home. My past is far, far behind us, and I'll do anything to keep it that way. I used to clean other people's houses. Now, I can't believe this home is actually mine. The charming kitchen, the quiet cul-de-sac, the huge yard where my kids can play. My husband and I saved for years to give our children the life they deserve. Even though I'm wary of our new neighbor, Mrs. Lowe, when she invites us over for dinner, it's our chance to make friends. Her maid opens the door wearing a white apron, her hair in a tight bun. I know exactly what it's like to be in her shoes, but her cold stare gives me the chills. The Lowe's maid isn't the only strange thing in our street. I'm sure I see a shadowy figure watching us. My husband leaves the house late at night, and when I meet a woman who lives across the way, her words chill me to the bone. Be careful of your neighbors. Did I make a terrible mistake moving my family here? I thought I left my darkest secrets behind, but could this quiet suburban street be the most dangerous place of all? Sounds good. So that is The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. There's another Frida McFadden book I want to read called The Boyfriend, and it is supposed to come out on October the 1st. So I don't have that one yet, but I am on Goodreads reading the summary, and it says, "She's looking for the perfect man. He's looking for the perfect victim." Sydney Shaw, like every single woman in New York, has terrible luck with dating. She's seen it. She's seen men who lie in their dating profile, men who stick her with the dinner bill, and worst of all, men who can't shut up about their mothers. But finally, she hits the jackpot. Her new boyfriend is utterly perfect. He's charming, handsome, and works as a doctor at a local hospital. Sydney is swept off her feet. Then the brutal murder of a young woman, the latest in a string of deaths across the coast, confounds police. The primary suspect? A mystery man who dates his victims before he kills them. Sydney should feel safe. After all, she is dating the guy of her dreams, but she can't shake her own suspicions that the perfect man may not be as perfect as he seems, because someone is watching her every move, and if she doesn't get to the truth, she'll be the killer's next victim. A dark story about obsession and the things we'll do for love. The final mystery/thriller book that I want to read this fall is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. It just came out not too long ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago. And I've read The Paris Apartment and The Guest List by Lucy Foley, and they weren't my favorite books, but they were okay. But I really want to try this one, and I think I got hooked by the cover. I don't know, it's just so awesome. The story begins, it's opening night of this manor. It's like really fancy. It has like a really nice sparkling pool, like an infinity pool. It's just so immaculate, but outside of its grounds is like this ancient forest. And this forest apparently has secrets. Well, the locals are kind of upset about the manor because they think that this manor has intruded upon this forest and kind of like disrupted everything about the forest. So there's a lot of resentment there. And then there's like this old like folklore about this avenging force that can come back and make everything right again. And then it says, on the Sunday morning of opening weekend, the local police are called. There's been a fire, a body's been discovered. There's just something that's not right with the guests. So what happened in the last 36 hours? Who or what is the cause? So it seems like something very interesting that I would like, and it seems very spooky-ish. Gives me spooky vibes, so perfect for October or Halloween-ish. So The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. And that is the last thriller one that I have on my list. So now let's jump into the young adult books that I want to read this fall. The Inheritance Games. Now, I have read the first two, The Inheritance Games and The Hawthorne Legacy, but it's been like 3 years ago, so I'm probably going to go back and reread these before I read the last ones. See if I can remember exactly what it's about. I know it's about this girl who finds out that she is the heir or heiress. So she becomes rich basically overnight, like rich and famous. The money was given to her by this very rich old man who has grandsons. There's all kinds of puzzles and things they have to work out. I know that I loved it and I enjoyed it. So now I need to go back and finish the series, and that's what I plan to do this fall. Let me know if you guys have read all of these. I'm so excited to go back and read them again. I really like them. So that I don't knock anything off my shelf, the next young adult series books that I want to read this fall is the Crave series, and I've read the first 3, I think. So I need to read Court, Charm, and Cherish, and I'll have that series finished. So it's kind of like a Twilight / Harry Potter kind of feel to it. There's vampires and wolves and witches. I love it. It's so good. And there is a gargoyles, and it takes place in a school for these beings, supernatural beings. So it's kind of like the originals, or what is that knockoff show, like the Vampire Diaries? It's similar to that. I have a couple of dark romance books that I want to read that I haven't gotten around to, but they've been on my TBR for forever. Haunting and Hunting Adeline. I've heard mixed reviews on these, so I'm not sure. I think if dark romance is your thing, then you'll probably like them, but if it's not, then you probably won't. That's kind of what I've heard. For me, I read the Never After series, and they were okay. Dark romance is not my favorite genre, but once in a blue moon, I'll get in the mood for one. And I figured these would be perfect for fall. Last but not least, there are some dark academia books that I want to read this fall. And I've read a few in the past. I've read Babel. I've read, what is that one book called? If We Were Villains. And I really enjoyed those. And I've heard good things about The Secret History by Donna Tartt. It says, under the influence of a charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at a New England college discover a way of thought and life, a world away from their banal contemporaries, but their search for the transcendent leads them down a dangerous path beyond human constructs of mortality. And I love dark academia. I don't know, I just love the vibe. And I picked this one up because the cover kind of got my attention. Gothicana, got the sprayed purple edges by Runix, A Tale of Dark Romance. So I guess this is dark romance and dark academia, because when I looked it up, it was listed as dark academia. An outcast her entire life, Corvina Clem is left adrift after losing her mother when she receives the admission letter from the mysterious University of Varenmore. So yes, it is dark academia, probably with a little dark romance too. She accepts it as a sign from the universe. The last thing she expects, though, is an old, secluded castle on top of a mountain riddled with secrets, deceit, and death. Vad Deverell is an enigma and enjoys being a closed book, but knows exactly everything that happens in the university. As a part-time professor working on his thesis, Vad has been around long enough to know the dangers the castle possesses. And he knows the moment his path crosses with Corvina that she's dangerous to everything that he is. They shouldn't have caught each other's eye. They cannot be. But a chill-inducing century-old mystery forces them to collide. People have disappeared every 5 years for more than 100 years. Corvina's getting clues to unraveling it all, and Vad needs to keep an eye on her. And so begins a tale of the mysterious, the morbid, the macabre, and a deep love that blossoms in the unlikeliest of places. And then here's the inside of it. It's just really pretty. It gives me like Halloween vibes. I love it. It's like so Halloween-y. Ooh. Pretty. I love the purple sprayed edges. Oh. There's some pictures in here too. Oh, nice. They're so pretty. Oh! The Varenmore crest. So there's the school's crest on the book. That's so cool. I'm excited to read this. So this is a mix of dark romance and dark academia. Let me know if you've read this yet. I'm curious. The last book of the dark academia genre that I want to read this fall is The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. I kind of read up a little bit on this, that like every decade there are 6 very talented magicians that are selected to kind of become initiated or be placed in the society called the Alexandrian Society. So it's like the most secret society in the world. And then here it says the chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams, but at what cost? So you have 6 newest recruits, and I guess they just all kind of compete to earn their place in the Alexandrian Society. So this seems like up my alley. I'm excited to read this too. So those are all the books that I'm hoping to read this fall. I feel like they all give fall vibes or spooky vibes, cozy vibes. I'm excited about fall. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, or if these are also on your TBR too, and we can talk about them. And let me know what you're planning to read. Maybe I can add a few more books to my TBR too. And if you want to get notified about any more videos, just hit the subscribe button. And if you have any ideas, or if there are any other videos you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. I would be happy to do it. Until then, friends,